Hello friends, pay attention here. In last lecture, we have completed 4.2 the storyteller. Okay, we have completed 4.2 the storyteller. We have discussed all activities. Now I am discussing some activities on page number 84. Then I have to start 4.1. Please listen, okay? Just two activities have been left. I discussed page number 84. Short stories. The storyteller in that topic, there was one short story. Short stories are of many types, okay? Now we have to match the type of story in column A with its description in column B. We have to match the type of story in column A with its description in column B. Story type and description. First, I read all types of stories: anecdote, fable, parable, myth, legend, fairy tale, tragic tale, fiction, farce, satire, and description. Look, first read, then we shall join. Serious and ends in a tragedy, untrue but realistic, short, amusing account of an incident where vices and folly are ridiculed. Moral bearing story with animal characters, having historical base and characters but may not be true, having a religious base and a message or moral, exaggerated comedy, having supernatural characters, a moral for children, and originated in ancient times. Authorship unknown. Anecdote means take C option, short amusing account of an incident. Anecdote means short amusing account of an incident. Fable means moral bearing story with animal characters. E. Fable means having moral having moral story with animal characters. Parable, having a religious base and a message or moral. Having a religious base and a message or moral. Having a religious base and a message or moral. Myth, having supernatural characters or a moral for children. Having supernatural characters and a moral for children. Legend means having historical base, characters but may not be true. Having historical base or characters but may not be true means legend. Fairy tale, having supernatural characters or a moral for children. Fairy tale, having supernatural characters or a moral for children. Tragic tale means serious and ends in a tragedy. Tragic tale, serious, take A option, serious and ends in a tragedy. Fiction, take B. Fiction means imaginary. B, untrue but realistic. Untrue but realistic. Farce, H, exaggerated comedy. farce, exaggerated comedy, and satire, where vices and folly are ridiculed. Where vices and folly are ridiculed. Okay, these are the meanings of those stories. Now, one story has been given here. We have to complete it. Again, take anecdote means see short amusing account of an incident. Fable means moral bearing story with animal characters. Parable means having religious base and message or moral. Myth originated in ancient. I write this name better. Myth means having originated in ancient times, authorship unknown. Legend having historical base, characters but may not be true. Having historical base, characters but may not be true. Fairy tale having supernatural characters, a moral for children. Tragic tale means serious and ends in tragedy. Fiction untrue but realistic. Farce, exaggerated comedy, and satire, where vices and folly are ridiculed. Okay. Now let's complete one story. Footprints. And everyone knows that stories are in the past tense because the stories are occurred stories. So story must be written in the past tense. Footprint. The title of the story is Footprint. One night a man had a dream. Write down there had. The word from have given. Past form of have is had. Write a pencil. One night a man had a dream. He dreamed that D-R-E-A-M-T. He dreamed that he was walking along the beach with God. He dreamed that he was walking along the beach with God. He was walking along the beach with God. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. For each scene, he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. For each scene, please pay attention, he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One belonged to him, B-E-L-O-N-G-E-D. One belonged to him and the other to God. One footprint was of him and other was of God. One belonged to him and other to God. After the last scene had flashed, write down the correct forms of words. After the last scene had flashed, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. He observed that, O-B-S-E-R-P-E-D, he observed that many times along the path of his life there was only one set of footprints. He observed that many times along the path of his life there was only one set of footprints and that it happened H-A-P-P-E-N-E-D, and that it happened at the saddest, most troubled, T-R-O-U-B-L-E-D, most troubled times of his life. Troubled times of his life. I can explain the story, just note down the forms of words. He questioned God about it. Questioned. Q-U-E-S-T-I-O-N-E-D. Right? Past form of question. He questioned God about it. God, you said that. Once I decided to follow you, once I decided to follow you, you would walk with me all the way. You would walk with me all the way. You would walk with me all the way. So I don't understand why you left me. Left. Past form of live, left me alone when I needed you most. Left needed you most. God replied, during your times of trials and suffering, where you saw only one set of footprints, they were, right, saw only one set of footprints, they were mine, for it was then that I carried you in my arms. They were mine, for it was then that I carried you in my arms. Now I explain the story. We have taken the proper form of the word. What happened one night? A man had dreamed. He dreamed that he was walking along the beach with God. He dreamed that he was walking on the beach with God. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. At that time, in the sky, some scenes in his life flashed. For each scene, he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. In each scene, he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One belonged to him, one footprint was of God, and one footprint was of that person. After the last scene had flashed, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. After the last scene had flashed, when last scene had been flashed, at that time that person, please pay attention at the story, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. He observed that many times along the path of his life, there was only one set of footprints, and that it happened at the saddest, most troubled times of his life. At that time, that person observed many times along the path of his life, there was only one set of footprints, and that had happened in the saddest and the most troubled times. Then he questioned God about it. Then he asked God about it. God, you said that once I decided to follow you, you would walk with me all the way. He asked God that he had said that once he decided to follow him, he would walk with him all the way. So I don't understand why you left me alone when I needed you most. At that time, that person asked why the God had left him when he needed, that person needed the God the most. At that time, God replied, during your times of trials and suffering, where you saw only one set of footprints, they were mine, for it was then that I carried you in my arms. Look, God replied that when that person saw only one footprint, that was of God, because whenever the man would be in trouble, in difficulty, at that time God had lifted him on his arms. It means God was always with him. We must trust on God. We must follow the good principles, the good thoughts in our life. Then the God will be always with us. But we must have trust on God honestly. God would never leave you alone. There will be always God with you, and that has been conveyed in this story. Okay, this topic has been completed. We discuss, you write question answers yourself. All activities have been discussed. Now I am starting first poem. Please listen. Please listen. Page number 81. Please listen. Look, this is very inspiring and thought-provoking poem because sometimes we don't listen others patiently. We just talk and talk. We just advise others. We just do something for others. But sometimes to be a good listener must be there. And the speaker in this poem has expressed his thoughts regarding listener. Sometimes some people or we tell something to others. At that time we try to express our feelings, express our emotions. We just expect others to listen. But sometimes, instead of listening patiently, others start to advise us, others directly help you. And in such situation, how should we be good listener? That has been conveyed in this poem. So I start. The speaker is speaking in this poem. Please listen. When I ask you to listen to me, you start giving me advice. You have not done what I asked. Speaker tells that when he asked the second person to listen to him, when the speaker asked others to listen to him, at that time that second person instead of just listening started to give him advices. According to speaker, the second person has not done what he asked, what the speaker asked. Look, the speaker says that when he asked the second person to listen to him, at that time that second person directly started giving him advice. According to the speaker, the second person has not done what speaker has asked. What has speaker asked? He has asked to just listen to him. Just listen. He doesn't need any advice. He just wanted to be listened by that second person. But instead of listening patiently, he started to advise. The speaker has not asked to give me advice, but some people consider themselves so smart. They feel that they are so clever, they are so wise person. But sometimes we must listen others' feeling. We must respect others' feeling. When I ask you to listen to me, and you begin to tell me why I shouldn't feel that way, you are trampling, crushing on my feelings. Trampling, crushing on my feelings. When the speaker asked that person to listen to him, at that time that second person began to tell speaker why speaker shouldn't feel that way, why speaker should feel that the second person would listen to him. According to speaker, that second person had insulted his feelings, had crushed his feelings. When the speaker asked that second person to listen to him, at that time instead of listening, that second person asked why that speaker shouldn't feel that way. You are trampling on my feelings. Sorry, once again I explain. When the speaker asked, please pay attention, when the speaker asked to listen him, at that time that second person began to tell him why he should listen him. Why he should listen him. According to speaker, he has insulted his feelings. He has crushed his feelings. He is not ready, the second person is not ready to listen him. He feels that why he should listen him. Now third stanza, when I ask you to listen to me and you feel you have to do something to solve my problem, you have failed me, strange as that may seem. When that speaker again asks to listen him, at that time that second person felt that he had to do something to solve his problem. That second person feels that that speaker was telling something to do. Actually, the speaker just wanted to listen him. But that second person misunderstands and he feels that he has to do something to solve his problem. When some people tell something to you, at that time some people feel that he is putting me in trouble by telling his problems, by telling something. He is telling me something to do. When I ask you to listen to me and to feel you have to do something to solve my problem, you have failed me, and strange as that may seem. According to listener, when that second person felt that he has to do something to solve his problem, at that time the speaker hardly feels that second person has not care of his feelings. That second person has failed him, although it was feeling strange. Listen. All I ask is that you listen. Don't talk, don't do anything, just hear me. The speaker wanted to just listen. Whatever he has told, that was just to listen him. According to speaker, don't do anything, don't talk with him. Just listen whatever he wants to tell you. Just speaker wanted to listen him. He doesn't need any advice. He doesn't need any work to be done by others for him. He wanted to just listen patiently. He was expressing his feelings. He was telling some thoughts to other person so that the second person should understand his feelings. But many people start to advise him, many people do something for him. Advice is cheap. 20 cents will get you both Dear Abby and Billy Graham in the same newspaper. Look, speaker tells he doesn't want any advice because he gets advice in just 20 cents in the newspaper from Dear Abby, from Counselor Dear Abby and Billy Graham in the newspaper. And not in our newspaper but in foreign newspaper, there are separate columns. In those columns we have to put our problems. Then there's some experts, some counselors give us advice what to do for your problems. In just 20 cents we have to pay some money, which is very less. So the speaker says he doesn't want any advice from you, from that person. If he wanted advice, then he would take from that counselor Dear Abby and Billy Graham from the newspaper in just 20 seconds. In just 20 seconds. And I can do more for myself. I am not helpless. Maybe discouraged and faltering. Faltering means hesitating, but not helpless. He can do his work himself. If he wanted to be done something, then he can do his work himself. He is not helpless. He might be discouraged. He might be afraid, but not helpless. According to speaker, he can solve his problem himself. In that situation, he might be discouraged, he might be frightened, he might be afraid. His confidence would be a bit less at that time, but it doesn't mean that he is helpless. He can't do anything. It doesn't mean he can solve his problem himself. He is able to do it. When you do something for me that I can and need to do myself, you contribute, you support to my fear and inadequacy. Contribute, take support to my fear and inadequacy. Inadequacy means lack of something. Lack of something. Lack of something. When that other person does something for speaker which he is able to do himself, at that time that second person again contributes to his fear or to his inadequacy. Means, suppose that you can write the answer of one question yourself, and if your friend is telling you that answer, then you feel so sad. You feel so, you get so angry on that person, that friend, because you are able to solve that sum. Suppose that your math teacher has given one sum to solve it, and you are able to solve that sum confidently, and your neighbor, friend is telling to how to solve. At that time you feel so sad. That friend is not helping you, but that friend is supporting for your fear. Your friend is supporting to your inadequacy. And the same condition is of the speaker. Speaker tells that when you do something for me, at that time you are not helping me, but you are supporting to my fear. You are supporting to my inadequacy. Yes, I might be lack of something, but I am not helpless. I might be discouraged, but I am not helpless. I might be a bit afraid, but I can try to do my work myself. If I am able to do my work myself and you are doing that work for me, then you are not inspiring me. Then you are not motivating me. You are not supporting me. You are supporting for my fear. You are again making me more afraid. You are again putting me in trouble. So don't do anything for me. Don't advise me. Just listen what I am telling. Just listen patiently. Respect my feelings. Respect my thoughts. I want to express my thoughts without you. Just listen. Look. Next passage on page number 81. But when you accept as a simple fact that I feel what I feel, no matter how irrational, senseless, illogical, irrational, senseless and illogical, then I can stop trying to convince you. Speaker says, if that second person accepts as a simple fact that he feels, although that would be irrational, senseless, then the speaker could stop trying to convince you. Look, when, according to speaker, that second person accepts his thoughts as a fact, although it would be senseless, although it would be irrational, then at that time I would consider that you are not listening me patiently, you are just accepting as it is, as fact what I feel. You are not listening that carefully, you are not listening with attention. If I am telling you some senseless statements, senseless, irrational thoughts, and you are accepting that senseless, then I would think that you do not have to listen me. Then I can stop trying to convince you. Then I would stop trying to convince you and get about this business of understanding what's behind this irrational feeling. Then I would try to understand what's behind this irrational feeling. Look, speaker just wanted to listen himself, but if second person is not listening, is just advising or doing something, then the speaker would not tell anything to such person. If that second person is accepting the statements, the tellings of speaker, although that is senseless, irrational, then also the speaker would stop to convince him and he would try to find out what is the behind that irrational feeling. Now look, next stanza, just 1 minute. Okay, let's continue. Second stanza. And when that's clear, the answers are obvious, and I don't need advice. When the speaker gets answer, gets what is the behind the irrational feeling, then he doesn't need any advice from others. When that's clear, the answers are obvious. When those doubts would be clear, at that time the speaker would get his answers. At that time he doesn't need any advice. Irrational feelings make sense when we understand what's behind them, according to speaker. Irrational feelings also make proper sense when we understand what is the behind them, why someone is making irrational statements. If we understood the reason behind those irrational feelings, then those irrational feelings make sense. Perhaps that's why prayer works sometimes for some people, because pay attention to the textbook. When I am reading at that time, pay attention at that line. Perhaps that's why prayer works sometimes for some people, because God is mute, silent, and He doesn't give advice or try to fix things. The speaker gave an example of prayer. Perhaps the prayer, perhaps that's why prayer works. Sometimes, look, we pray in front of God. At that time, God just listens us. Does he give any advice to us? Does God give any advice to us? Does God do anything directly for us? No. When we pray in front of God, at that time, God just listens our prayer. He doesn't advise us or he doesn't fix anything. Just we get relaxed in front of God, we get satisfied, we get comfortable in the presence of God, and then we start to work with new hope, with new thought, with good thought. God just listens our prayer. He doesn't advise us, he doesn't do anything for us, and the speaker just wants to be listened by others. He doesn't need any advice. He doesn't need to be done anything by others. And so he gave the example of prayer. When some devotee does prayer in front of God, at that time, God just listens them. God just listens and lets you work it out for yourself. God just listens and lets you work it out for yourself. He doesn't do anything for you. So please listen and just hear me. So speaker is requesting to just listen him, to just hear him. And if you want to talk, wait a minute of your turn and I will listen to you. The speaker tells that second person, if he wants to listen him, then he should wait till his number. He should wait till his time. Then the speaker is ready to listen him patiently. Then speaker is ready to listen patiently. So just speaker wanted to listen himself, to listen him by others. And if that other wanted to speak something with speaker, then that second person should wait till his time. After getting his time, he should speak and the listener is ready to listen him patiently. Okay? This poem represents the importance of listening. How should we be a good listener? We should not insert of any other feelings, any other thoughts. Whenever some people will tell you something, at that time you must listen them patiently. You must listen them with good thoughts. Okay? This is the theme of this poem. Now I discuss. Look, this poem has been written in free verse. So there is no any figure of speech or there is no any rhyme scheme. When the poem is written in free verse, there would not be any rhyme scheme, would not be any figure of speech. Look, activities in English workshop. First activity, pay attention. The poet uses a free and conversational style in this poem. Okay? In this poem, there is free and conversational style. It is also called colloquial style. Okay? This free style is also called as colloquial style. Pick out and write down such lines or expressions that support the above statement. We have to pick out some lines which is as like conversation. Okay? First statement has been given. You have not done what I ask. Note down second statement. Listen. All I ask is that you listen. Write down second statement, or you can mark out in the poem that line. Listen, exclamation mark. All I ask is that you listen. Listen, exclamation mark. All I ask is that you listen. Next, don't talk or do. Don't talk or do, just hear me. Don't talk or do, just hear me. Don't talk or do, just hear me. Next line. So please listen and just hear me. And so please listen and just hear me. So please listen and just hear me. Okay? 2 lines you write yourself. 2 lines you should write yourself. There are many such statements which are used in conversation, that is colloquial style. Second question, put the following expressions in table do or don'ts as expressed by the poet. Some statements have been given. We have to classify those statements in do's and don'ts. First, please listen. Second, give me advice. Third, tell me why. Fourth, solve my problem. Fifth, just hear me. Sixth, accept as a simple fact. Seventh, contribute to my fear. And eighth, wait a minute. First, take do statement in table on page number 83. On page number 83, there are 2 columns in table do's and don'ts. First, take statements in do's. First, please listen. First statement, please listen. Second statement, tell me why. Second statement, tell me why. Third statement, just hear me. Third statement, just hear me. Fourth statement, wait a minute. Fourth statement, wait a minute. Do's, please listen, tell me why, just hear me, wait a minute. Now statements in don't. Statements in don't. First statement, don't give me advice. Don't give me advice. Second, don't solve any my problem. Don't give me advice. Don't solve my problem. Don't solve my problem. Third, don't accept as a simple fact. Don't accept as a simple fact. Don't accept as a simple fact. And next, don't contribute to my fear. Don't contribute to my fear. Don't contribute to my fear. Look once again, don't statement, don't give me advice, don't solve my problem, don't accept as a simple fact, don't contribute to my fear. Now I am taking 10th activity. I will discuss all questions later. First I discuss 10th activity. It is comparison between 2 poems we have learned Invictus, Unconquered. Read aloud a couple of stanzas of the poem Invictus and please listen. In what ways do they differ? Think and fill up the table with yes or no. Look, we have learned poems Invictus and please listen. We have to just write yes or no of those poems regarding some points. Rhyming lines in Invictus, yes. There are rhyming lines in Invictus. Take yes or tick mark. Please listen, no. There are no any rhyming lines, so no or cross. Steady rhythm, yes. In Invictus, yes. In please listen, no. In please listen, no. Uniformity in length of lines, yes. In Invictus. Uniformity in length of lines, yes. Please listen, no. In please listen, no. Uniformity of number of lines in each stanza, yes. Invictus, yes. In please listen, no. Means the number of lines are not same in each stanza in Please Listen, but in Invictus are same. Figurative language, there are figures of speeches in Invictus. There are figures of speeches in Invictus, but not in Please Listen. But not in Please Listen. According to these points, in Invictus there are rhyming pairs, rhyme scheme, figures of speech. But in Please Listen, there is no any rhyme scheme, any figures of speech, any steady rhythm. It means that poem has been written in free verse. Look, Invictus is an example of traditional poetry. So, with these points, we can say that Invictus is an example of traditional poetry, whereas Please Listen is an example of free verse. Okay? This is the difference between Invictus and Please Listen. Look here, I have completed this poem and discussed some activities. Now, there are some question answers. Now, time is about to over. So, I discuss all question answers. In the next lecture, you also try to write those question answers in your notebook. From fourth unit, 4.1 and 4.2, two lessons have been completed. 4.1 and 4.2. I have completed third unit, all lessons. Now, two lessons have been completed. In the next lecture, we shall start next topic in the fourth unit. Okay, so I stop here. Bye.